Hello everyone, welcome back to another video today. Today's video will be what if Zigmunari was a Tusken Raider in RWBY Part 1. Who's like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into today's video, shall we? Yes, we shall. We start off with Izuku, or in this world he's known as Izuk, a name given to him by his people. The people of the Tusken Raiders, which is his culture, which he's proud of. We can see Izuk riding his dune bantha around the dune sea, holding something in his pocket as he had his Gadurfi on his back and his cycler rifle in his hand. He surveyed the distances of the sands, looking to see if he can find his tribe, as they appointed him to go on a trip to build something for something, the heart of something. And he did. Now he's looking for them. Soon a massive ran to him, then another, until six masses were in front of him, barking at him as they all stood in front of him, facing a sand dune. That way, one looked back at him and barked before hissing. He nodded towards his massives as the march continued on. He walked more as his bantha marched. Soon he got off, had his rifle in hand, surveilling the dune as he walked up it. Soon he saw that it was the colony party, the colony that he was a part of. Wait a minute, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I am so sorry for that. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Just wanted to let you guys know. Okay, guys, I'm back. So yeah. Izuk walked down the dune as the massives returned to their owners, except for his. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So yeah, sorry about that. Okay, where were we? Okay, I got it. So yeah, all the mastiffs returned to the tribe, except for his personal mastiff. He got on his knees and hugged the little thing, and smiled as he did. He found me. Izuk looked up towards his tribe as they approached him. I built what I was sent for. He pulls a device out of his pocket. A mechanical device that was going to be used for the heart. So, this is what you bring. The elder grabs it, looks at it, and examines it. Yes. I call it an arc reactor. It should give me a lot of energy for this for it. Wait a minute, guys. This will provide energy from my ship. It can generate energy by itself, and if used properly, it can create hyper matter. I see. So, this is your art. Yes, it is. Well then, put it in. The elder gives the engine back to Izuku, who grabs it and walks inside the ship, which was a YT-2000 transport. So yeah, he walked towards the engine room, and with his bag, he pulled out more devices and started connecting this arc reactor together, creating an actual engine. Then opens up the hyperdrive and places it inside. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So yeah, he puts it into the hyperdrive. He puts it into the engine. Izuku connects the engine to the. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, yes, I'm back. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the pauses. I need to check on my data. So yeah, Izuku connects the engine to the hyperdrive and the sublight drive and the entire ship. Izuku smiles as he does this. He smiles under his mask, saying he's done it. He's created infinite energy. Izuku walks out of the ship after he started the engine. The ship kicked off so much sand from the ground once the engine came on. It was magnificent. The chieftain walked to him. How did you do this? Well, I combined a kyber crystal with a hypermatter, and I just put it all together. With a force ability I read in Legends, hearing the legends of this ability, it can create hyperspace. So, I thought I can make it create hypermatter, and it does. But it can do more. It can actually create energy. Everything else, create pure energy. I'm sorry. It's okay. You did good. We're proud. Thank you. After that, Izuku and everyone else gets ready. So those guys they went back. So yeah, everyone gets ready and then takes off. Izuku watches them take off as he's loading in his bantha, and massive as the entire tribe watches them. Izuku It just looks back. Izuku looks back to them, waves as his bantha goes into the first storage room, where it just lays there on its bantha bed. As massive, it is put in the same room, and inside its bed. So yeah, Izuku smiles and waves back as the ship is taking off. As the ramp shuts, he salutes everyone. Then instantly goes up and then jumps into hyperspace. Izuku sighs as he looks out the window, sits down. So, okay, I don't know this. Soon, Izuku pulls back on the lever, causing the engine to shut off. As he does, multiple ships come out of hyperspace. They all look down at the planet below, looking for a place for them all to land. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, so I'm back. So yeah, Izuku leads the march, landing in an open forest, where he walks out on the ramp. He looks out at the beautiful sky, the birds he hears singing. It's beautiful. He takes it all in, thinking of what he can do with this new life. Suddenly more ships pop down as world-class freighters and more YT transports. YT 2000 transports land. The transports mainly carrying supplies, while the RWBY as their main are carrying more supplies, farm animals, and more people. Izuku's didn't take any, as he built his on his own. Originally, he wasn't even supposed to be a part of the mission, but he wanted to see the new world. He heard of thousands of colonies before him, maybe even millions, since they left Tatooine. But Izuku looks to the sky, holding his hand up, opening his thumb, and searches around until he sees it somewhat. He sees the other galaxy that they were in. Well, he sees a close planet to it. The planet that was the stepping stone of where they started their planet. So Izuku marks that, starts turning before he points up a bit more till he's in an 80-degree angle with his arm and smiles. There. Everyone looks up to where Izuku is pointing, there's home, Tatooine. We've come so far, yet so little. We know. I wonder what is next. Is sorry guys. Is this gonna be it? Maybe the final frontier. Don't say that. Space in general is the final frontier. And we will never forget our roots. As long as that galaxy, and within that last sentence, a brightness appears in the sky. As the Star Wars galaxy explodes, everyone's staring. As in the cities, people are just staring at the sky. As if God Himself had sliced the sky open. A huge flickering and not flickering sky. Part of the sky is there. As Izuku's arm is just shaking now. Home. Until it falls down. Everyone gets on their knees and mourns the loss of thousands of their peers, thousands of their own people. Suddenly the oldest of them pulls out a book and starts reading. The colonization of worlds. Groups and tribes of Tuskens decided it was enough and they will just continue where the Kumunga started. They started spreading themselves throughout the galaxy. First Geonosis, then Dantooine, then other worlds that were habitable but don't have any life. Moons even. Until every last untouched planet was theirs. They thought they had completed themselves, but it wasn't done. They wanted more. So, after a few hundred years, each of their planets sent out more of them. This time out of the galaxy into light speed. But it wasn't fast enough. They wanted to reach more galaxies. So they went to what was the worst thing of all? Ludicrous speed. The speed alone threw people across. Banthas, pigs, everything. No one could stand the speed until one pulled a lever, causing one of the ships to get out of hyperspace. Then 400 more ships came with it and landed on a planet. Then the Western colony came out of hyperspace and landed on another planet. They started spreading throughout the galaxy, the universe. But if they have lost contact with the other colonies since then. They don't know what's going to happen next. He closes the book and looks at everyone who's just crying, holding their children. Izuku just, Izuku thinks for a bit before saying, our story does not end there. Tell us the history of our planet, please. Fine. The Bantha War. 10 years ago, a war started out. Humans from this planet came forth through a gate, started killing us all until we industrialized again, making weapons help best suit us. Once we drove them out, we destroyed the gate. We're guessing they did the same. Anyways, we should all get them asleep. Prepare the tents. Everyone nods as they begin to bring up tents. They smiled as they did so, thinking on how that they finally have a new home. Four years later, a now 14-year-old Izuk is in the city with a tarp stretched out as he sat on the ground with his cycler rifle in front of him and his Gaddafi on his back. Izuku has a small purse with him. As he's looking at passerbys, he just look down on him and walk away. Until a girl walks to him and looks at him. Why do you look like that? He looks at the girl. He then signs, I don't understand your language. I'm sorry. Not from here. Oh, I'm sorry. I can teach you if you want. He then signs to her, I'd like that. Do you want anything? She looks at all the options she has, then starts signing in gestures again. I'd like bread. He then grabs a Tusken bread and he hands it to her. Thank you, she signs, as she gives him 12 lien. He looks at it before putting it away, as she then walks away, smiling and waving to him. They continue to walk as his tribe is moving farther into the forest, away from anyone else. He's getting tired, as he wants to go back to the city. He needs to meet the girl there. The entire tribe looks at him, then says, the chieftain then walks to him, then says, go back if you want, we're not taking you anywhere. What about ship? Take which one you want. You only get one. Izuku looks at the ships before pointing to the Aurora class. I'll take that one. Fine then. get all your stuff off. He nods before grabbing everything from what he built, everything off, including the arc reactor engine from his YT-2000. A small girl walks to him as the tribe looks at her and waiting. She then hands Izuk a large sum of money, and he thanks her before handing her some bread. He smiles before loading his bantha in, and then flying off. Izuk walks. Izuk is back where he was, looking at passerby. Says some grab buy stuff, others don't. Others just throw him money, thinking he's homeless. Until RWBY comes along. Hey, Izuk. Hi, RWBY. Your English is getting better. Thank you. Anyways, what do you have? I have Gadurfi. Huh? Gadurfi. He's holding some cooked meat that looks like chips. He then grabs one and then stuffs it inside his mask. As he eats it, and it causes the sound of chips being eaten. But then she thinks for a minute before saying, "Oh, jerky." He then nods back at her. I'm good. I have some more bread. Oh, how about blue milk? Thank you. He then takes the lien and then gives her the items. A yellow-headed girl looks at him as RWBY walks in her. Once everyone leaves, he packs up everything, gets on his bantha, and walks back to his ship. He looks at the Aurora class freighter as his massive runs to him and starts licking him. I miss you too. How's the house been? He looks inside to see his tent, a fireplace, and the beds he had. I see, still good. He then walks up into the control room. As he closes the freighter, then turns on camouflage. Izuk walks back down as he prepares dinner. His massive is happy to see his owner, her owner. She wags her little tail, I think, as his bantha, Yuki, is just hungry. Izuku rubs the head of his massive and the horn of his bantha. You two have waited for me so long here. Thank you for staying with me. They both make their noises as Izuku gives them their food. then takes his portion and starts eating. A minute, how long has this been? Oh, okay. Izuku continues to eat as he looks around, wondering if this is the good life. So he gets. Then we time skip to 3 years later. Izuku is walking out at night as he wants to meet up with RWBY, who he's been friends for a while with now. She's the only one that knows his secret, that he's actually an alien. Well, not really. He's human. But his race is continuing the culture of an extinct species that went extinct far, far long ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Izuku walks into a dust shop with his rifle and Gaddafi on his back, while he's holding something in cloth with his massive walk behind him. RWBY. Oh, Izuku, how you doing? RWBY gift. Gift for RWBY. Oh, what is that? She grabs it and starts to unveil it, as it turns out to be a branch. Oh, thank you. It must be a gesture of her culture. I teach you as you taught me. Huh? I will teach my culture to you as you taught to me. Oh, I'm very flattered at that. It's really nice. Combat school, good? Yeah, it is. You know, we should really train together sometime. It could be fun. Fun is good. Izu pulls out 2 thumbs up as she then goes back to an article shows remote weapons and dust. He's interested as it's concepts he's very rarely heard of. Soon a few thugs walk in. And while the leader's just talking to the front guy, one of the thugs walks to Izuku and RWBY. Hey you. Huh? You in weird clothes, give me all your lien. Are you robbing? Before she could say, Izuku hits the guy with the blunt force of his Gaddafi, and then using it to just throw the man across the room. Izuku looks at everyone that's inside. He then looks at RWBY, who is combat ready. Ready? Before anyone can say, Izuku knocks out several of the guards and then cheers in traditional Tusken way as RWBY just flings one into the glass. The boy Izuku walks out the door to congratulate RWBY for her win, until this guy in a weird hat shoots a flare at them. Izuku pushes RWBY out the way as he gets hit with it. Luckily, it hit his black melon that he kept on hand, so it poured out luck and stopped any fires that were happening. Izuku whistled out as his massive ran out and bit Roman on the leg, who screamed in pain and was successfully able to kick his massive away, who rolled back on her feet and started chasing Roman off, who ran up ladder. Izuku points up to RWBY. Then she nods, running up as he does the same. But instead of following them, he pulls out his cycler rifle, loads 15 rounds, and aims. Then fires, barely missing Rome, and misses Torchwick by a millimeter. And he's surprised at the accuracy of this child, but is more surprised that he isn't using a hybrid weapon like everyone usually does. Wait a minute, guys. So yeah, running out of time. RWBY is about to confront Romanoff when an Osprey comes into frame and Romanoff gets in. Torchwick gets in. Well, suddenly Izuku misses Torch's ear, causing some pain. Wait a minute, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back. So yeah. Well, Torchwick is in pain as he yells for someone in front as he walks away out of frame. Izuku runs to RWBY, making sure she's okay. RWBY smiles as it's good to have our new friend. And before anything happens, Izuku sees fire and tackles RWBY as he's expecting the worst, but it doesn't come, as someone saved them. Wait a minute, guys. So yeah, someone saved them. And sees that it's a huntress, like RWBY told him. He is perplexed at the skill and speed. She wasn't even anywhere near them. It's surprising to him. The huntress then yells that they're okay. Izuku nods and then starts talking. Run and hide we will. I know you can probably defeat them. Glenda just rolls her eyes. Thank you. Run now. And they do. They run like hell fleeing everything as everything's going on. Izuku readies his rifle, aims, then fires, misses on purpose again. This causes the osprey to close up and leave. Glenda Goodrich comes to them and has a skull in her face as Ruby asks for an autograph. Then that lands on them in jail. Izuku is in a separate room from Ruby, where he's being interrogated by Ospen, who says that he has no records of him, nor anything about him, but his marksmanship and his skills from Ruby's skull. He then plays them. It's showing Izuku teaching Ruby how to use his Gadurfi and how to be a better marksman. It is Ospen then looks at him and says, "This is all I need." Unfortunately, we do not know where you belong. So I give you two options. You can go back to wherever you came from, or you can join Beacon. Izuku looks at the table before saying, "I'll join you." And that's gonna be it for today, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. God damn it, this was a long video.